Hey, everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, November 9th, 2025. A bandaged face reveal in 2025. How does Y&R know exactly what I want when I want it? Maybe even before I know I want it. It's like they read my mind. Oh, I hope he's young and good looking. Oh, I hope he's young and good looking. Oh, thank goodness he's young and good looking. I mean, how would I know? It's been all lips and eyeballs for weeks now. Nothing but lips and eyeballs. So how would I know there was going to be a hottie under those bandages? It was like snip, snip, peel, peel. Oh, hallelujah, we have a hottie. My requirements are few but specific. Oh, and we have a secret fling too. Okay, I'm really excited about this because Noah is foggy coming out of this coma. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what he's doing in the hospital. He doesn't remember why he was driving his car in the canyon that night, so close to Sienna's house, while her psycho husband was out of town. You know, I am actually surprised that I'm about to say this, but the truth is, I don't hate Mitch, aka Matt, aka Mitch Matt. I think for the next 2 weeks, I will officially call him Mitch Matt. But I don't hate him. I thought I would, because Matt Clark is so hateable. And also because based on the cliffhanger from last week, I expected him to be very cold and calculating, and that's it. I was expecting one dimension. But what we got this week was really a whole lot of personality. He's got the coldness beneath, but on the surface, he was all, hey, I don't know why Nick Newman is calling me Matt, and I have no clue why he would march right in here and punch me. Real friendly like. See, I like a villain who's not all villain. I like a villain who can fool me just a little bit, and I think this guy's got it. And next week in the previews, he's telling that detective, the guy with the great hair, to go ahead and just get rid of the guards who are keeping watch outside of Noah's room, protecting him. And presumably, Mitch Matt's going to just take care of the rest. Noah is in danger. The detective is in on it. We kind of already knew that, though. What's up with him? What's up with the detective? Because I feel like I've got a clue about Sienna. I get the affair. I get kind of Matt's game. But what's the detective in for it? You know, what's he gaining from it all? The detective showed up at the bar. He was, and he's acting like he is on the force, or he's acting like he does actually have a badge, but he was also acting like he was in cahoots with Mitch Matt, asking him to speed up the plan. Whatever it is, let's speed it up. And he was questioning Sienna in a way that suggested to me that maybe he and Mitch Matt already knew what was going on between her and Noah and all of her layers. To get to Sienna, you got to get through all of the layers. Have you noticed this? Because this week she had on a band t-shirt and a blazer over top of that, and then 4 necklaces, 4 separate long and short combo necklaces, and a necktie. Dang! That is some effort. She's putting effort into her wardrobe. I do appreciate it. The part I am wondering about, though, is, okay, well, she said that Mitch Matt told her to get close to Noah because, you know, nightclub, I guess. Which sounds to me like maybe Mitch Matt knew that Noah was a Newman and wanted to keep him close for maybe a future revenge plan. Maybe got his wife unknowingly in on it. Maybe didn't really count on them hooking up. And then found out about it, planned to run Noah right into the canyon, right into a fiery death, and then was just going to have the cop cover it up. I know this is going to come as a shock to you, but I have fallen madly in love with Holden. And I am willing to throw everything away to run off and be with him. How could Claire even think about going running back to Kyle after experiencing all of that chest firsthand? Literally firsthand. Oh man, that was a great lovemaking scene. Oh, it was beautiful. The light and the shadows, the chemistry between the actors, the direction. I mean, whoever directed it, I mean, they really made a lot of use out of that bed. They were all over it. So many different positions. And then afterwards, she kicked him out. Politely, of course, in the most polite Claire way possible. But still, she kicked him out. I mean, they met up several times afterward, but I thought it was interesting that she had breakfast with Victoria the morning after. And she told Victoria that she felt like she went a little too wild. And now she she doesn't regret the action. She doesn't regret what she did. But she might regret who she did it with. It was so veiled. It was all so veiled yet so obvious and so cringy. And I'm glad Victoria finally woke up to the, maybe this isn't such a good idea. I'm glad maybe Victoria was a little less taken with Holden. But I mean, the thing that gets me is like, well, wait a minute. So did Claire change her mind about Holden because of his confession? Because I am pretty sure that Kyle has done far worse. So the thing is, Holden told the Audra story, or part of it. Maybe not the whole story, because in the previews, Holden was telling Audra that he told Claire, but only enough to stop her from asking further questions about the bad deed they were both wrapped up in LA. Here's what Holden told Claire. He told Claire that Audra was flirting with some rich guy, and of course we saw these flashbacks. Audra was really giving me decade ago Audra. I got it. I really felt the essence. Loved her in the flashbacks. But so in the flashbacks from Holden's perspective, we saw Audra flirting with this rich gallery owner guy. She was clearly out to advance her art career. Very Audra. I get it. I bought it immediately. She's a struggling artist just trying to get by. The guy got drunk and he was all handsy with her, and we actually knew that part, right? Because they had alluded to that previously before we ever got to LA. But Holden was the bartender at the Shadow Room, of course, where this is all going down. And Holden stepped in to try to break up the situation. He does it all the time. He's a bartender. And while Holden was arguing with the guy, Audra reached into the guy's pocket and lifted the wallet. Of course, the guy came back looking for his wallet. Holden says, I didn't have anything to do with it. Mitch at the time, so not Matt, just Mitch, comes in to defend Holden. But it turns out that, while the wallet just so happened to have contained a $500,000 cashier's check. Because, when sometimes you might need to make a transfer of $500,000 in the most risky way possible. Either they were in on that from the beginning and knew the money was in the wallet, or that guy was a complete idiot. Maybe both. I don't think the guy deserved to have $500,000. A cashier's check. I get nervous if I have to have a cashier's check for $50, because if you drop it, it's gone. There is no validation required. You find a cashier's check, you can just check it. You can cash it. You might as well just be walking around with a briefcase full of cash money and a sign on your forehead that says, rob me. So, look, I was glad Audra took the check. I was rooting for her. I was happy she ran off to Europe, which is where she came from when she first, arrived in our fair Genoa city. She had come from Europe. So that takes us through her story. And wouldn't you know it, the second she lands, in Genoa City, she starts this new life, and then Holden shows up there too. I don't know how much of this is coincidence and how much of it is not, because I also got the impression from the past that Audra and Holden had a romantic relationship. Wasn't he talking about her going to Metallica concerts and stuff? So, it's definitely not the full story. Holden was making it sound like they were much more casual, like she was just a regular at the bar. And unless it's a storyline inconsistency, we must know that's not true. And he was also taunting her a lot about their relationship, making it seem like they were in love or that they had something special. Remember, he was always around every corner when she was with Nate. But in this version of the story, what went on between them was just this brief incident at the bar, and the fact that she sent $100,000 in a thank you reward back to Holden from Europe, probably also a cashier's check, probably also sent through the mail. So we know this isn't the full truth. It's at least part of the truth. But man, maybe this was the intention, but from my perspective, none of this seems like any big deal at all. I've seen way worse. Audra stole a wallet. Whatever. Holden kept the stolen money. Duh. But the point is, even this mild version, even this masked version of the story seemed to turn Claire off. I guess she is allowed to have a shady past, but Holden isn't. I mean, for crying out loud, Claire tried to murder her whole family, and she's suddenly judgmental about Holden keeping some free stolen cash, which clearly everyone would do, anyone would do. I mean, I was impressed with the fact that Holden refused to give Claire the name of the rich gallery owner, knowing that Claire could just turn around and use it on Audra. I thought that showed some integrity, at least, even if to his own hide. But right at the end of Friday's show, Holden told Audra that what he told Claire was not the whole truth. And I don't know if the whole thing with the gallery owner is going to end up coming back on Audra anyway, or if it'll just end up getting dropped. I don't know. But is it possible that Claire was playing a long game all along? Is it possible that Claire was really only after Holden so that she could drag this secret out of him, and now that she has it, she's just gonna move along and maybe retaliate against Audra, or tell Kyle what she knows about it all so that Kyle can suss it out? Right as Claire was deciding to come home to Genoa City, Diane and Jack were encouraging Kyle to go back to LA to get his lady love. Kyle stopped at the coffee house to get a crimson coffee before jumping on the private jet, like you do. I mean, I'm not gonna get on the private jet without a Crimson Lights coffee. And then Claire and Holden showed up through the back door right at exactly the same time, anxious to get their hometown brew too. And it was awkward. It was really awkward. And I'm surprised to say that Claire really has seemed to be giving Holden the oh so polite brush off. I mean, she's seeming now to prefer Kyle. She's thinking about maybe spending some time with Kyle a little bit more now. And 2 weeks ago, honestly, I would have been all about a Claire and Kyle reunion. I really like Claire and Kyle a lot, but now I've been to the other side. Now I've been to the Holden side. And that is what I want. And I think Claire should respect that. Claire's not really taking me into consideration enough. That's what I think. I wonder what you guys are wanting. I think that would make a good poll question for this week. If you had to choose to put Claire with either Kyle or Holden, no third choice, I'm drawing a line, which one would you choose? Do you like that sweetness between Claire and Kyle? Or were you feeling, the slightly more dangerous heat between Claire and Holden? YRChat.com is where you can not only place your vote, but weigh in on what you think about that. I guess the other thing is that it just continues to bother me the way that Kyle uses Harrison to try to get her back. It is like Harrison is his last-ditch effort, the only secret weapon he has left. He's exhausted all his other options, and so now he's pulling out the Harrison card. Like, but better make sure that Harrison is plenty disappointed about Claire missing Halloween. Better make sure that Claire feels plenty guilty about it. Just go ahead and tug on Claire's heartstrings as much as possible. That'll surely lead her right back to him. But I don't know, my hope coming out of all of this is that we start to see a shift in Claire's character. I would like to see Claire not so eager for approval, and also seeing her not so easily approved of. I want to see her not so willing to go along with what everybody else wants. And maybe everybody else not so willing to go along with her. I sort of want the conflict there. But she's also mentioned that she has no interest in climbing the corporate ladder. She just wants to keep her head down and work her average, everyday, fabulous, normal, rich person job with generous vacation time package. She just wants to get back to a normal life, okay? Well, if that's what you want, Claire, all right. We'll see how far you get. This is my game face. Who said that this week? This is my game face. If you think you know, you should go to yrchat.com. Find out if you're right. Hey, we have a couple of birthdays this week. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to say happy birthday. So happy birthday to Colleen, aka Southside Granny, November 13th. Well, I feel like I haven't heard from you in a little while, Southside Granny. Where are you? There's a big Southside Granny hole in my life. Where are you? Maybe out there just celebrating and partying. That's what I hope. If you have a moment and you're still out there, stop by yrchat.com this week and say hello. Thank you also to T. Nicole, who stopped by this week to say hello, Y&R Chatters. I might or might not be as present in the coming weeks as a big life event has occurred. There is a new Y&R Chatter that has just come into the world, and my life will be quite a bit busy with a newborn and a toddler. But I am still here, just might be behind on Y&R or watching in the middle of the nighttime feedings. Oh, T. Nicole, oh, congratulations. That is wonderful, wonderful, bringing a new Y&R Chatter into the world. Wonderful. Thank you for letting us know. You go ahead and take your time. My goodness, you guys, my video camera's messing up today. Hopefully you guys can see me. Sorry, it got blurry there for a second. Darn, it's like the more I try to do technical things, the worse I get. But, oh, let's continue on with comments. Russell says, does Kane have on a tracksuit? This is a fantastic question, Russell, because I was immediately taken with Kane's outfit. He looked like my Kendall. He looked like Ken of Ken and Barbie. Just the fact that it was a perfectly matched brown, I mean, I don't know if tracksuit is the right, it was casual. It wasn't a business suit, but it wasn't quite as casual as a tracksuit. I don't know what you would call that, leisure suit? I don't know. Kane's brown, perfect leisure suit. Yes, he looked just like a Ken doll. But I have to say, Lily was no Barbie. I'm sorry, but I can't even bear another conversation between Lily and Kane. If Y&R is planning a romance between those two, then they really need to get on it. They need to pick up the speed, step up the pace, something. Because more and more, I'm feeling for Kane. Kane he's settling for me. But Lily is losing me, man. It's the same conversation every single time they're together. And it's just, it's exhausting. Kane offered Victor $1 billion this week to release the AI program back to him. But, I mean, that's surely not gonna happen, right? I'm certain that's not gonna happen, right? In fact, it looked like at the very end of Friday's show that maybe Victor had already put his plan into action because Amanda was texting Kane that there's something urgent. And at the same time, Victor was warning Adam to be ready. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what creative distraction Adam comes up with to throw everybody off of Victor's scent. This could result in some investigations needing to be happen. There's no way Victor's gonna get away with this, but he always does. Daisy says, I think it would be a great twist if Amanda turned out to be working undercover for the police in France. She's there to prove that Kane was and is knowingly using money Colin swindled from Madame de Leon. And once proof is discovered, they plan to send Kane to prison without his train for 20 or so years. I hope Amanda's working undercover, though. It seems so odd to me that she'd work for someone who is so underhanded after everything she's went through. I'd think she'd be on the side of justice, not lies. Also, as a bonus, her sister Imani could be working with her, and we'll see her show up at some point. Everyone will think it's to visit, but really it's to give Amanda information from the detectives, and Kane will never be the wiser. You know, Amanda does not excite me this time around, but I think you make a good point that she was always, for the most part, very justice-oriented, and she's definitely, I think the money must be speaking to her at this point. She's happy to take Kane's payment and do whatever it is he needs, but it will be interesting to hear what she has to say. Oh, last week I asked you guys, do you remember Matt Clark from the mid-90s and early 2000s? I think this is a pretty good poll of people who do. 57% of Y&R chatters do know. So that either means 57% of chatters are longtime fans or were at least dipping in at around that time and remembering him well enough. 43% don't remember him at all. So you know what? That's wonderful. New fans too. Marianne, of course, you know how it is. It's like once you've watched for so long, I mean, you could refer to something 20 years ago as new. So, I mean, you could literally have been watching Y&R for 20 years and you're still a new fan. Marianne V says, I remember Matt Clark, but I can't believe they're bringing him back. For what? Is he involved in Noah's accident, trying to get at Nick and Sharon again? Let's see what happens next. That is the plan. Tony says, rather than have Matt Clark come back as a new name with Sienna, who we don't know, it would have been interesting to have him involved in the storyline of someone who might not know Matt, but is a GC regular, like Diane or Audra, or even someone younger who might not know, like Claire or Daniel. And then pow, he's revealed to Sharon and Nick. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the plan is going to be for him. Russell says, Mitch is a terrible husband. He seems to be framing Sienna. Well, Russell, I had not even thought about that, but that's a heck of a good theory. What if he was telling her to get close to Noah and he was planning all along to frame her for something going wrong with him, and maybe he just didn't count on the affair? That's pretty good. Steven says, I've not been watching the show for that long. My minimal research, Kane's AI, leads me to think that Matt's death was pretty final in 2001. He died in the hospital, and Nick was tried for his murder. How could the body have been switched? Has anyone heard of someone surviving an autopsy? Sharon is, however, quite certain. Could Matt have had a long-lost twin separated at birth? Would he have had a grudge against the Newmans? Or will he turn out to be a hero? You're right, Stephen. He's not that person anymore. Never forget that. I actually think he died twice. He died the original time, and Nick went on trial for his murder. And then I think it turned out that he had faked his death, had facial reconstruction, like you do. And then he came back. Something happened again. Maybe he got shot. I think maybe he tried to rape Sharon again. He loves to rape. And so, I think he got shot or something. And then he went into the hospital and pulled out his own breathing tube, trying to frame Nick for his murder again. So he's actually been dead twice. This is his third time to the rodeo. Oh, where will it all go? Your guess is as good as mine. But here's this week's Y&R Chat fast fill in the blank. The best power move would be Phyllis double-crossing Victor. Phyllis accepting Billy's offer to protect Jabot and taking over Jabot and Newman. Phyllis and the AI implementing Kane's original plan to take over all the GC companies. Yeah, I think Phyllis has definitely is in the position to make the power move here. The best power move would be Chelsea putting the screws to Adam, turning the Newman Communications into a media empire and not taking orders from Victor. The best power move would be Holden revealing to the audience how he is really sinister and is after some Newman fortune by taking advantage of naive Claire. The best power move would be for Audra to steal the AI program and take over the companies of her naysayers. Or Claire having Audra paint her portrait to displace Victor's when she takes charge of Newman Enterprises. New Mouse Enterprises? No, Newman Enterprises. Oh, man. Wow, that's interesting that people are kind of, I wouldn't have pulled Audra in to that story, but that is a really interesting idea that maybe there's a way that Audra can get her hands on a piece of the power here. It really kind of seems like, I wonder if they're going to cast this gallery owner, and then Holden and Audra are now having to fight against that guy, and maybe they'll get drawn back together. It really seems like Claire and Kyle are just going to fall right back in. Holden was just a brief stop on the train tracks. Brief stop on the train. Connie says, my college memory is faded by time, but I have never had a hangover in the morning and was posing in photos that afternoon. What magical elixir is Claire's remedy? Because it should be bottled and sold. Was it Holden or spiked coffee? Nikki had a great concerned look, and I noted her comment about drinking to excess and regrettable choices. Will lemon vespers lead to hard liquor shot troubles or just more Holden troubles? I am staying tuned in tomorrow. You know what? I loved the photo shoot scene. I thought that was fun. I mean, it was just fun filler. Let's just go to the rooftop, shoot out some pretend photos. They were being silly and fun. And all of that worked to sell me on Claire and Holden, only to have her turn around and run right back to Kyle? It can't be true. Naomi says, poor Kyle. He's been very careful and gentle with Claire. Holden was careful too. It was Claire that gave herself permission to let go and have fun. Now she will think Kyle is boring when he was never given a fair chance to rock her world. I mean, maybe if they go back to Disneyland together, that might be nice to see. Clara's had a heck of a last couple of weeks, right? I mean, she really went on a roller coaster. You know, I'm gonna just pluck out a couple of points from Russell here. This comment was a little longer, but I could not stop myself from thinking, you know, I never thought about it this way before. Russell says, Claire is completely in control of everyone around her. Everyone loves her and wants to be around her. Her entire family goes out of their way to praise her and make sure that the road is clear for her to do whatever she wants. Kyle is so whipped. He's making a fool out of himself trying to get her back. Holden has liked her for a long time, and now that she's rocked his world, he's admitting that he wants more than a friendship. She even used that friendship as leverage to pump him for the information about his and Audra's past. Everyone loves her, except Audra. Yeah, I guess, I think I love your point that Claire is really in control of everyone in her world. How did she manage that? I think that's why I'm ready to see a twist on her character and have her be a little more forthright with us. If she is playing this as a game, then I'm impressed. And I want more. Tavi says Claire's about to find this guy who's spent years looking for Audra Cortez and tell him that Audra Charles lives in Genoa City, isn't she? Audra Cortez, you're probably right. We're going to see, either Claire's going to find him or Kyle will. And if Claire don't find him, Kyle will. Oh, here's a funny little comment from Gary. I don't believe that Peter Bergman is getting into Harrison's Halloween candy. That is one of those cutesisms. You don't believe it? You can't see Jack really rifling through Harrison's fine china large Halloween bowl of candy? Clearly an expensive bowl to put all of that hard candy in. And apparently Jack and Claire are also both having to fight for the caramel chews. I don't believe it either, Gary. I don't believe it either. Those caramel chews have got to be way too bad for your dentures. Okay, everybody. I think that takes us about to the end of our Y&R chat for the week. But I do want to say thank you so much to everyone who picked up their copy of the Fauna and the Flora this week. Oh my goodness, your support is so appreciated. And I really can't wait for you guys to read this story. I promise you. It is going to be a wild ride. There are twists and turns and emotions and feelings and things that you will not see coming. I crafted this story over 6 years. Carefully crafted it. Trust me, it is so good. Gary was the proud recipient of signed edition number 2, and Victoria will be reading signed edition number 3. Who will have signed edition number 4? I don't know. It's a cliffhanger. Maybe you. But I also have to say thank you to everyone who went to Amazon. I would thank all of you personally if I could. In fact, leave me a message and let me know if that's where you got it, and I'll give you a shout out. I believe Ellen and Sue W said they got paperbacks from Amazon. So thank you so much. I do love the feeling of holding the book in my hands. Stephen mentioned starting the audiobook on Audible Canada, and that's how I've been listening too. I just finished Act 1 on Audible US, and I have to say I'm genuinely impressed. It's a really good story, and I'm very pleased with the vocal performance. I feel like the Audible sound quality could be better. I actually ended up deleting the original copy, setting my Audible to download the high quality version, and then downloading just at the higher quality. That made a big difference in the sound for me. I don't know if I'm just tell me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just have bad earbuds, or maybe because I created it, I'm hearing it in a different way. I have a bias or something, but the high quality version sounds so nice. You can hear every breath I take. You can hear every dramatic beat, every note of the beautiful soap opera song that is coming your way. In fact, I want everyone to get at least a little taste of this ear candy. So I am releasing a free 20-minute preview of the audiobook this week. Everything up through chapter 1, which has a great cliffhanger. I want you to at least be able to get a taste of the story. You can find it on YouTube. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify. Yeah, I want everybody to at least get a little something and then come talk to me about it. I just want to talk about this story. And actually, next Friday, I'm going to post an F&F chat with some thoughts about Act 1, which I just finished, which it's the prologue through chapter 10. So you are so welcome to read and chat along with me on YouTube or Facebook, or if you're looking for the audiobook preview, my username everywhere is Restless Forest Books, so you can just look that up and find me. Okay, I hope everybody has a really good week. The weather is starting to turn here, and it's just so beautiful. I mean, and I guess that's one of my things. You guys know I've said before, I love trees, which you'll see in the inspiration for of the book. But I love fall, and I love trees, and all of the trees here are just starting to turn beautiful golden. But it's gonna get cold. We're like right on the cusp of it getting cold, and all of the beautiful golden leaves are just going to drop, and fall is going to be over, and we're going to be entering into winter, which is a little bit sad, but we've got lots of cozy, good drama to keep us warm, which is just how I like it. Okay, everybody, have a really good week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.